Many people have said if you brought someone back from the turn of the century, put them in different settings in our world today, the only place that person would be comfortable and know that he or she was in the same place would be in a schoolroom. They look essentially the same all over this country. That has to change.
If we keep doing things the same way over and over, and we keep achieving the same results over and over, something has to change. And it's that reforming that A+ is all about. Creativity and building self-confidence, the decision to make, the ability to make decisions for young people is probably the most important thing we can extend to them as they move into their lives after school.
What matters most is that we address each child and find the true potential and help unleash it for every child in our state.
Well, the discipline is very important. We recognize that there's more to learning and more to meeting with society and being effective in society than simply knowing discipline knowledge.
I believe anytime we encourage a good reasoner, a good critical thinker, a good collaborator, someone who understands the responsibility of doing his or her part as well as being part of the community.
We have to adapt to what is happening in the world as a whole, and communication has really changed how we have to do business in the school.
We are in a situation of transition where we have our digital immigrants trying to lead the digital natives into their future.
That's really the key. We've got to equip our children with the ability to perceive what's going on, to understand it, and to develop a rational strategy because of it.
We put the tools in the hands of those kids with some structure around it and then get out of their way. And they create the most amazing responses to our questions.
What I've seen in the classrooms and through the training of A+ has been a comprehensive, meaningful approach to getting students to truly engage in learning and to developing creativity and finding their own connection to material.
There's a palpable difference in a classroom where teachers are teaching creatively to the classroom where teachers are going by a script.
I think it's important to me, and I've noticed just recently in myself how important it is to have context and purpose to what I do and to what I'm asked to do.
The arts put context to a lot of the facts that we learn in so-called hard subjects. I think it also engages the entire brain.
I think the arts can be transformational for children, and not necessarily for all children, but I do feel like for many children that would not get reached otherwise can get reached through the arts.
The student has a connection to the classroom in some way. It may be an outstanding teacher. It may be a friend. It may be a specific subject. And I think the arts draw out the greatest part of an individual.
And the real beauty of what we call the arts is you're free to make a mistake.
The arts are all about flexibility. They're all about looking at what exists and transforming that into a vision or something that you can imagine is better.
But to have that freedom to let your mind and your imagination go where it will take you, and creating that environment where children can take a risk and try out these new ideas. And yes, maybe they may not work as well as you think they might, but there's learning in that as well.
And so if you're continually focused on building the capacity to imagine a better world, a better educational setting, then you know, an A+ schools, I think, is focused in the right direction.
There's a lot of schools that don't get to have this opportunity. I mean, it's just great. I love it. I mean, everyone's nice. The teachers are awesome.
Well, I just love learning and getting AR tags.
The teachers make it easy to understand what we're supposed to be doing, and it's really fun to get to put art into a lot of the things you do.
My teacher, she's fun, and our art teacher, she gives us good, fun projects.
They'll never let you fail. They're understanding, and they're very kind, and they're very generous.
The teachers are real one-on-one. The classes, like, they're challenging, but you get enough help to actually, you know, understand a topic like math. I'm horrible in math, but my teacher really helps me, and I'm passing.
I like asking for help instead of doing it on my own, because usually whenever I do stuff on my own without help, I mess up pretty bad.
It's a really awesome school because our principal cares so much about our school and our environment and our education.
And you know, you really don't feel like they're a teacher. You feel like, you know, I guess you could say a student with a higher knowledge.
Our art teacher, Mr. Tomlin, he likes to, like, if we're drawing something, he likes to draw it too.
Our music teacher tries to take us everywhere. We have a lot of performances in different places. It's been really cool.
A+ schools are more creative in presenting their subjects.
You get to actually learn and have fun, and you'll stay awake. You'll want to stay awake.
I think that the more interesting a class is, obviously, the more a student will want to learn.
I like working in groups because then I get to work with the other people and learn their opinion about something.
Well, we have assigned jobs, and where we have to, like, be line leader and stuff. So I get to be line leader sometimes and stuff.
You would either get an idea from somebody, or you can just use the team effort to make up an idea. Like, if I have one idea, then it's an okay idea, then like other people add on bits and pieces, then it becomes a really good idea.
Yes, well, you know, a lot of people say 2 brains are better than 1, so yeah.
There's sometimes that your partners have like ideas that you don't like and they don't like, and
guess whose idea usually loses? Mine. That's why I don't like democracy.
And to me, every school should be A+, if that was my decision.
I think one of the things I've been thinking about lately is the importance of play and the importance of childhood, that we can meet the needs of the children in our classroom and still allow them to be children. This is a time in their life that they only get once, and I think that sometimes we expect so much of our children to be like adults. But I believe we can have high expectations for our children and still allow them to be children, and still allow them to move and to play and to learn and to be curious. And in doing that, we value who they are and where they are.
I want people to know that they matter, that this is a big job. It's one big job, and there's a role in it for every single one of us. Go out, find your role, bring your gifts, let's get to work.
Let's look at our world, and let's look at how we can make our world better. And that may look entirely different on one side of the state as it looks on the other side of the state, and that's where flexibility on the part of policymakers and state officials needs to come to play. That no, we're not going to rigorously say everyone has to do the same thing and be on the same page on the same day at the same time. that we can be flexible enough to see that creativity happens in its own time. And A+ schools, your time is now.